Councils always talk about how they are the level of government that's closest to the people. And if you're the level of government that's closest to the people...
So they can knife us at close range.
I know.
That's all that means.
They ought to have an understanding of, like, dealing with people. Speaking of councils being close to the people, you would think that would mean they would take notice of what the people say and think, or they would at least ask the people in the council what they think about particular issues. We told you last night in the papers segment about Adelaide Hills Council, of course, in South Australia, where they were planning to hold a public meeting where they would discuss whether or not they should hold events on Australia Day. Now, the Adelaide Hills Council made a decision last year to move away from Australia Day events, so they don't have any fireworks, they don't have citizenship ceremonies, etc. They scrapped all of that stuff, but they were starting to question whether or not that was the right thing to do, and maybe we should ask the residents what they think. And if they feel that we should bring back Australia Day events, we'll take that into account. Well, we also told you last night there was one councillor who said that public meeting would just be a forum for racism. Well, would you believe it? We sat here last night and said, good on Adelaide Hills Council. You are maybe starting to realise that you could have done the wrong thing and now you're trying to correct the course. No, at their council meeting last night, they decided they would not have a public meeting to discuss whether or not they should bring back Australia Day event. They should have an Adelaide Day, by the way. I suppose that's what Gather Round was. But whether or not they should have Australia Day events because, it's going to bring up all this racism. The Mayor, Nathan Daniels, is undertaking a consultation on such a contentious issue does have risks, as outlined by a number of elected members this evening. We must now ask ourselves, will this additional consultation add value, or would it open up more conversation which is to the detriment of our residents? I would have thought as a council opening up more conversation is never detrimental to your residents. It's beneficial to your residents, unless, of course, you're worried that the residents are going to give you a different answer to the one that you want. I mean, consultation is always about, look, here's what we're going to do. Would you mind just rubber stamping it for us? Of course they were not going to have that.
And if you don't rubber stamp it for us, we're going to do it anyway, but we'll be able to say that we did community consultation. I've been on a council. I know how these things work. I mean, this is ridiculous that one of the councillors had to put up a motion to be like, you know, maybe we should do our jobs and talk to the people that we're supposed to be representing, how they feel about banning all events on Australia Day. And the rest of the council, also elected by those people to represent them, said, no, don't give them a voice. We don't want their opinions. It might turn out to be racist. I mean, that's your whole job. That's what you were elected to do. Listen to the people, carry out their bidding.